In this demo, I'm going to show you how to take the color wheel that we did in Project 9 and turn it into this one. It's a little bit involved, but it's not too bad. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to stop this video and get myself back to where it was at the end of Project 9, and we'll go from there. Hold on just a moment. So here's where we were at the end of the last project, Project 9. We had 4 layers. We had a white background. We had our color wheel located in layer 1. We had a background layer copy that we had spared a circle out of, and an ellipse disk that is on the 4th layer. For the sake of going forward, I've decided we really don't need the very background layer. It's superfluous. So I'm going to discard it at this point. And we're going to deal with just these 3 layers. I'm going to relabel layer 1 as the color wheel. And we're going to keep this one as the foreground. And this one will be the center. So this, for the sake of going forward, this is the way that I'm going to be referring to these. The first thing that we want to do is we want to turn both the foreground and the center to black. To do that, we're going to take our foreground color and we're going to change that to black, which is 6 zeros. We're going to use our magic wand tool and select the middle, making sure we're on that layer. And then just use our paint bucket tool and fill it with black. So that's step 1. Step 2 is to take the foreground and do the same thing to it. Select it, take your paint bucket tool, and fill it with black. So this then begins the process of dividing up the color wheel into its 24 constituent parts. If you remember, the best way to control objects in Photoshop is to use the shape tool. So what we want to do here is we want to grab the shape tool itself and click here. We don't want this new object that we're going to create from the center. We're going to use a rectangle tool, and we're going to make that rectangle 6 inches long, so that'd be 6 IN. I noticed the other day you don't have to do the whole INCH. And we want to make it only 5 pixels wide. So you can mix things. You can say 6 inches and 5 pixels and it'll turn out just fine. So we're going to say OK. It's going to appear somewhere but not centered, and that's okay. We don't want another one. We just want this one. So if I click on that and click on the object, I'm going to now go to all of these layers and lock them. I don't want to have anything happen to the underlying layers. I just want to move the rectangle tool, the rectangle that I've created. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to use my arrow tools to nudge it across the space. You need to make sure that you're on your upper thing here. You want to be on the move tool when you're doing this. The other thing that you're going to need to do at some point is you need to go to Edit and Transform and pick one of these so that you can see the center of the object. You'll notice that the center is here. We want to continue to move that until the center is directly over the center line side to side and over the center line top to bottom. That's pretty good. It's right in the middle. That's exactly where we want it. And we want the ends touching both sides of the 6-inch window. So that's going to be our first true horizontal. So we're going to name that horizontal. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that and we're going to duplicate it. And we're going to go to Edit and Transform and Rotate. Now here's the nice thing about doing it this way. You don't have to guess where you're at. If you hold down your Shift key as you do the rotate, you'll notice that it clicks into position Okay, so now we're up at 90. So you can label that one 90. And now we're going to make a copy of that. And at this point, you can turn off the extras. So we're going to go to View and shut off our extras so that we don't see it. Now you can see that the color wheel is now divided into quarters. We're going to divide this further. And to do that, we're going to use the 90 each time. We're going to duplicate that, and we're going to make sure that it's at the top, and we're going to go to Edit and Transform and Rotate and hold down Shift. One, there. That's our first one at 15 degrees. So you can name that 15. Now we want to go back to the 90, and the reason for that is we want to be able to keep track of the angles. And to do that, we need to start at 90 degrees each time. So I'm going to go down, duplicate that, shove it to the top of the stack, and go to Edit and Transform and Rotate. Grab that at the top, hold down Shift, click, click. Now I'm at 30 degrees. So this one becomes the 30-degree line. Okay, you can see how each time I do this, I'm going to do 90 degrees again. Grab it, pull it to the top of the stack, go to Edit and Transform, Rotate, and hold down my Shift key. Click, click, click. Oop, went too far there. And this one's your 45. Okay, back up to the 90 again, or down to the 90, I should say. Copy that, drag it to the top of the stack, Edit, Transform, Rotate, hold down your Shift key, click, 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 click. Now we're at 60 degrees, and we're just going to keep going around the circle like this, okay? So 90, duplicate the layer, drag it to the top of the stack, Edit, Transform, Rotate, hold down Shift, click, 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 click. There we go. And this one was, what was that? 75. Lost track of it there. I knew it before, but can't remember it. Okay, so now we have our circle a quarter of the way done. Actually, it's halfway done because we've got this quarter and this quarter. So now what we need to do is to take and complete this. And as we complete this side, it will complete that side. All right, so we're going to go back up to 90, or down to 90. Duplicate the layer, bring it up to the top, Edit, Transform, Rotate. This time we're going to go all the way around past horizontal to the first 15 degrees past that, which is 105. And you notice we automatically get our other line on the other side. Back, oop, cancel, down to horizontal, or rather 90. Grab the 90-degree line, duplicate that, shove it to the top of the stack, Edit, Transform, Rotate, click, 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 click. There we go. Now we're at 120. I'm only labeling these to keep track of them to make sure that I've got them all. You don't necessarily need to do that. It's just so that you know that you're 15 degrees each time and you're keeping track of it. Because of the fact that you're holding down Shift, it won't let you do anything but that. So there's, oh, I grabbed my horizontal. I didn't want to do a horizontal duplicate. I'm going to throw that away. Get to talking here and I forget what I'm doing. I want to duplicate the 90. There we go. Shove the 90 duplicate copy to the top of the stack. Edit, Transform, Rotate. Click, 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 click. There we are, 135. Back down to 90. Grab that. Duplicate it. Up to the top. Edit. And Transform. Rotate. Holding down Shift. Click, 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 click. There we are, 150. And for our last one, grab 90, back to the bottom of the pile, up to the top of the pile, edit, transform, rotate, and click, 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 click. Okay, and now we're down to 165. And of course, straight up and down is 180 degrees. So now we have our color wheel all divided up into equal 15 degree wedges. All right, now what I want to do is I want to use this thing as a frame. So I don't want the color wheel on at this point. So I'm going to unlock all of these things. I'm going to shut off the color wheel itself and only use this as a frame. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to name the whole thing frame. And I'm going to go to layer and merge visible. That puts everything onto one layer. So I've got the frame and I've got the color wheel underneath. Now, the next part of this is to begin to take and change each one of these wedges into a pure color. And I will show you that in part 2. Okay? That's all for part 1 right now. I will see you guys in the next video.